Leaving Cert Physics. The story of physics is one of the most exciting and dramatic stories ever told, and it's not finished yet. Learning physics will give you a rich understanding of the real world and a glimpse at some of the mysteries that surround us. Physics is the most fundamental of the sciences. It aims to describe the behaviour of everything in the physical universe, and because it has such a large scope, it can be found at the heart of many different subjects, such as engineering, medicine, computing, astronomy, and many more interesting topics. Throughout history, physics has increased human understanding and quality of life on many levels. Facts which we take for granted today, such as the world being roughly spherical or the existence of gravity, were simply unknown 500 years ago. Advances in physics have fueled inventions such as the light bulb, the airplane, and digital technology. Currently, the least understood areas of physics are the extremely small world of quantum mechanics and the extremely large world of astrophysics. Huge amounts of money are poured into research in these areas because the possible technologies and discoveries which may result from research in these areas could have massive impacts on human life. While the frontiers of physics are on the extreme scales, the Leaving Cert Physics course mostly centres on the physical world that humans encounter in everyday life and covers phenomena such as light, sound, heat, forces, and electricity. Experiments take up a large portion of the course, as nothing is as convincing as seeing the results for yourself. For example, you will discover and calculate for yourself the rate at which gravity accelerates a body. There are many interesting questions which physics can answer for us, which you might not have thought about before. For example, why are some strings on a guitar thicker than others? This is covered in detail in the course. Essentially, the pitch of a note depends on the frequency at which the air is made to vibrate. The faster it vibrates, the higher the pitch. Physics tells us that there are three factors which decide the frequency of a stretched string: its mass, its length, and how tightly it's being stretched. This is called tension. And again, you can verify this for yourself in the lab. Guitars and their strings have a fixed length. So to get different notes, we increase the mass of the strings by making them thicker. We can tune guitars by turning pegs to change the tension of the strings. The discoveries in physics have changed the way we understand the world in dramatic ways. Our understanding of the properties of light and how it's reflected and refracted have allowed us to see smaller and further away than ever before. Our understanding of forces allows us to build cranes that don't tip over. Not to mention faster cars, amazing roller coasters, rockets, and many more fantastic inventions that are often based on simple physical laws. Physics is used to understand the properties of sound, how it is made, and how to produce sounds with different characteristics. Sound, like light, is understood in terms of waves, and the properties and characteristics of waves are explored. Understanding electromagnetic waves, which lie at the heart of most physical things, help us to see deep into our bodies, cook food, play CDs, and find directions using GPS. So how can the laws of physics help us understand the behaviour of light? If we take a simple example, such as reflection, we can see how some of the basic maths used in geometry, combined with simple laws of physics, accurately predict how we will see an object if it's reflected in a mirror. This characteristic allows for the development of periscopes used in submarines and tanks. In mechanics, we study the laws of motion. For example, in designing a crane, it's critical that all the forces are understood in order to ensure it can operate safely and carry the loads it's designed for. The term moment of a force is used to explain how a force can be used to turn or rotate something. Every time you use a lever, for example opening a door, turning on a tap, or even lifting your arm, the forces in action can be described using moments. In the example of a crane, in order to prevent it from falling over, the forces are balanced out as much as possible with counterweights and moments. Some of the more extraordinary discoveries in physics come from an exploration of the behaviour of subatomic particles, the tiny, tiny particles that make up individual atoms. This is one of the most exciting areas of current research, and discoveries are emerging all the time. In the Leaving Cert, we cover all the basics to help you understand the extraordinary world of atomic physics. For example, we explore the characteristics of X-rays, which are electromagnetic waves with much smaller wavelengths than visible light. X-rays, unlike visible light, pass through some materials, including the materials that people are made of. So when a person is exposed to an X-ray and a piece of film is placed on the other side of them, a shadow of the inside of their body is produced. In the higher level course, there is an option to explore particle physics and applied electronics more thoroughly. This can be especially useful for those who would like to continue to study physics in third level. Physics challenges our imaginations with concepts like relativity and string theory, and has led to great discoveries like computers, lasers that lead to technologies which change our lives, from healing joints to curing cancer to developing sustainable energy solutions. Choosing to study physics will change the way you view both the ordinary and the extraordinary forever. At Leaving Cert level, you'll begin to see how many of the concepts you learned in science at Junior Cert work together, and will start to grasp the universal principles that apply to everything, from the smallest atoms to the largest galaxies. You'll be able to find out how things like MP3 players and HD TVs actually work. As mathematics is the language through which you do physics, it helps if you're comfortable with maths, but this is not a necessity, as you'll have plenty of practice. While few third level courses have higher level physics as an essential entry requirement, choosing and passing ordinary level physics will satisfy the specific entry requirements for the majority of science, technology and engineering courses. In addition, you will have learned to work safely in a lab, to follow instructions and to use scientific equipment appropriately, giving you an excellent start in other laboratory-based subjects. Studying physics is an advantage in starting any engineering degree, as physics, along with mathematics, are key components of these courses. With an understanding of mechanics and the basic principles of physics studied during the course, you will be well prepared for a wide range of engineering career options, such as mechanical and aerospace engineering. Your study of temperature and heat processes help prepare you for courses in careers in areas such as climate change and meteorology. Possibly more than any other Leaving Cert subject, physics clearly demonstrates its practical applications across a vast range of career options. And you will find that higher level physics will give you a distinct advantage in a wide range of technically based courses, not only in engineering, but in other numeric-rich courses, such as computing and finance. Taking the physics course will provide you with training in many skills that are highly valued by employers and are at the centre of Ireland's new knowledge economy. If you have a passion for understanding how things work and enjoy scientific experiments, then physics is for you.